Hello Sagittarius, welcome to my channel, Sarah Angel Tarot. This is your reading, and as you know, it will not resonate with all Sagittarius individuals, but I do try to reach the majority of you. But this is for Sagittarius, those born on the zodiac sign of Sagittarius, full Celtic cross, Sagittarius, those born on the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. I'm hoping for some positive energies. If not, we will work through it. Incoming energies. Let's see. Having trouble moving on from a situation for some of you. That's the Six of Swords in reverse. My ring light's getting in the way. But it's like someone having trouble moving on. Whether you're having trouble moving on or someone around you is. Let's find out for sure. Subject at hand. Someone is coming out of disappointment, though. Let's find out who that is, too. That's the Five of Cups in reverse. Someone's slowly coming out of disappointment, but it's showing at the beginning energy someone was having trouble moving on, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What's crossing is a final decision now. You're coming out of something, but at the same time, you haven't made a final decision with the Judgment card crossing the Five of Cups. What crowns you, or your goal, is a Page of Swords. This could be messages that are, not, I can't say sharp, but urgent and meaningful. They need to be said in some cases. Also, you could be dealing, some of you, with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. When I see a Page of Swords, it's usually messages when I do my readings. And for some people, some readers will tell you it's someone younger or younger at heart. So we'll find out. With the foundation, you have the Four of Cups. It's in reverse, though. You're not accepting any offers that aren't good for you or that you don't like. You may actually turn something down. In the past, you felt betrayed or stabbed in the back, or something ended that someone, you just felt like someone did you dirty. For some of you, you may have done this to somebody else. Upcoming in the near future, you're not going to want to go out with somebody or go out and celebrate with family or friends. Or for some of you, you may over-celebrate. That's the meaning of the cards when they're in reverse. It could be either too much of something or nothing at all. And we will clarify. Remember, once I start clarifying, it can make the story real interesting and change it up. So bear with me. Possible future outcome or advice from the universe is the King of Swords in reverse, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Someone very abrupt in speech. And sometimes, the wounds heal. They don't heal. They hurt when someone speaks to you. So someone is trying to really hurt with their words. And advice is, could be, don't let someone hurt you with their words. What is coming towards you? A hermit situation. And also the outside environment, someone is keeping to themselves too much. And maybe they are, because the Three of Cups shows at times someone not going out. Remember what I said that. Hopes and fears, you got the Two of Wands. Maybe you're fearing to make a decision, or you're wanting to make a decision with the Two of Wands. You're trying to figure out what is the best option for you. Outcome, the Devil in reverse. You break free of a chained situation, something that is really oppressive to you. You're going to be able to break free from, whether it's from negativity or people or just actions, that are chaining, actions that bring you down. But let's go back to where we were, because we need to clarify these. We do have the Five of Cups. I do see someone coming out of disappointment, but at the same time, someone is having trouble moving on. And a final decision is not being made for some reason. So Five of Cups in reverse, the Judgment crossing it. Why are you there? For Sagittarius, you're having trouble. Death in reverse. Yes, someone is, even though someone is feeling a little bit better about a situation or past betrayal, they're recovering. They haven't forgotten it. It's like almost like you somewhat forgive something, but it's not forgotten. if that makes any sense. With the Death in reverse, it's like someone keeps on trying to resurrect a situation, or having trouble letting go, or trying to think. Death in reverse, it's like memories of endings, or should you end it, or should you go back and revisit it. But you are getting better with the Five of Cups in reverse. So Five of Cups in reverse, the Judgment crossing it, and the Death card in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius. You're not working so hard towards something with the Eight of Pentacles. It's not like you're going to put yourself totally out there. Even though, like I said, someone's having trouble moving on. Maybe someone else is having trouble moving on, but you're getting over it, or vice versa. But someone is not working so hard over a situation that possibly ended, but they're also not making any decision just as yet as the current environment, a final decision on what to do in the Judgment. Now, what crowns you, or your goal, is the Page of Swords. And I told you what that was about, but let's see if we can get any more information. Page of Swords in the upright is what crowns Sagittarius while you're there. And you're wanting happiness. You're wanting wish fulfillment. You want emotional energy that is positive. And you may tell people that, maybe that's why you're coming out of something. Maybe you're making a conscious choice to say to yourself, I'm going to look at the positives in my life instead of the negatives, things that did not work out. And maybe you're struggling towards that, like I said, because I did see that beginning energy of the Six of Swords in reverse. So Page of Swords in the upright, Nine of Cups in the upright while you're there for Sagittarius as the goal, or what crowns them. The Sun, but you're not 100% happy. It's like you're kind of like just in the middle. It's like you're, I don't know. I don't want to say tug of war. It's like you're in a gray area in some ways. It's like you're going for happiness. You are recovering. But that, like I said, that past thing is still there. You still remember it, but you're recovering. Now, as the foundation, you got the Four of Cups in reverse. You may actually turn something down, or you're thinking about it, or maybe someone else is around you. But the Four of Cups in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius as the foundation. Yeah, because you're not gonna accept any arguments and fighting with the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about bitter fighting. It's about, heavy arguments. It's a heavy energy, and you're not accepting that type of energy anymore. So Four of Cups in reverse, Five of Swords in the upright while you're there. King of Wands, this could be you. This could be, another Sagittarius, a Aries, a Leo. As you know, I do not pinpoint one zodiac sign in these cards because we are reading for the masses. But the King of Wands in reverse is someone who's not feeling 100%. And they're going to let somebody know that I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to accept what you have to offer. Or sometimes it could be that with this, that someone tries to offer you something, you turn it down, and there could be an argument. So it could go either way. But I do see you not accepting a situation, not accepting negative situations. Now in the past, you have the Ten of Swords. You felt like someone betrayed you or stabbed you in the back and made you feel like unwanted and ended a situation, made you want to at least end a situation. Ten of Swords in the upright while you're there for Sagittarius. Some of you may not have been feeling well. And you want better things. You want to turn around your fortune. And also what is attached to this is, I know I'm going to get a lot of trouble for this, but sometimes when something happens, it is to bring better things in. When something ends, and even though it ends kind of tragically, it's the way the universe is bringing you into something else. The wheel turns in your fortune to another situation. And I have a feeling it has to do with Jupiter eventually going direct in your sign, that the wheels will turn around again into your favor. So Ten of Swords in the upright, Wheel of Fortune in the upright while you're there for Sagittarius in the past. And you're struggling a little bit with the Strength in reverse. It's like you lack a little bit of desire, but just realize these energies are changing, and they'll change into your favor, even though you're feeling a little blah and in a middle ground where you're just not moving in some ways. Maybe you're just thinking too much. But it's like you're waiting to things to die down in your life. But you're wanting to be happy, and you're telling people you want to be happy, and you're struggling to be happy, but you're going for it. And you're not going to deal with the arguments. You're going to tell them, and it may even start an argument, like I said, by telling people you're not accepting no negativity, nothing that does not serve you, as you hear often in these readings. Now, in the near future, you got the Three of Cups in reverse. I need another card because it's so many meanings, like I said. Three of Cups in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius in the very near future. Temperance. Yeah, it could be the same thing again. Some of you may be over and indulging and not able to keep balance with the Temperance in reverse. Or the reason, like I said, some of you may be avoiding this overindulgence or going out and celebrating because you're trying to keep balance. And, something bad happened, something negative happened to you, and you're trying to move forward again. So the Three of Cups in reverse, the Temperance in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius in the very near future. Queen of Swords. You could be dealing with Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Or is this somebody who is starting to sometimes take advice or gain knowledge or learn from a certain behavior? They become more mature. They grow over the situation. But like I said, some of you could be dealing with an air sign. Now, the possible future outcome or advice from the universe, we got the King of Swords in reverse. Again, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. It could be advice from the universe. Don't get so upset. Don't have arguments with the King of Swords, because when words are said, they can be very cutting. And the King of Swords in reverse, the words, like I said, when they speak, it cuts like a knife, and they become very abrupt. So it could be the universe saying, don't deal with this, or this is who you're going to face with if you had this argument as the foundation. And yes, you can change up the story. You have free will. So it's just warnings to let you know what could happen and what you can do to change it. So the King of Swords in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius as a possible future outcome or advice from the universe. King of Cups. That could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone whose emotions need to be more in check. Could be the advice from the universe saying, get your emotions back together. Don't let somebody knock you out of that zone where you need to be in to get better. Now let's get another card. It could tell you something different. King of Swords in reverse, King of Cups in the upright while you're there for Sagittarius. The Hierophant could be over broken contracts, broken relationships, jobs ended, something that you thought was solid. So it says, if it's advice from the universe and the outcome, it says, be careful of your emotions. Don't let people trigger you into doing something, because it could break a contract, Keep your emotions, even if it does break, because I do see the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor and going this way. So it's just saying, be careful with people with words, and word yourself. Keep yourself up, stable, and uplift yourself. Think of yourself. Now, the outside environment, we have the Hermit in the upright. The Hermit in the upright, while you're there for Sagittarius, is what is coming towards you, or the outside environment. Page of Cups. Someone's thinking about messages or things said of the emotional nature. Page of Cups in reverse, like I said, can be messages. Pages are messages to me. And sometimes the messages were a little off. Emotions, like I said, were all over the place. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But I see someone contemplating and thinking about the words that were said. Whether you, but I'm seeing as an outside environment, somebody's thinking about the words you had with each other or things that were said that weren't always positive. They're thinking it over. The Hermit in the upright, Page of Cups in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius. Yeah, and they're thinking about what to do about it. They're thinking about what their next move should be with the Nine of Wands in the upright. They're looking towards you And they're saying, they're thinking about the words, like I said, that are said. And maybe, what can I do possibly to fix it or to move forward with this situation? So I do know that words were said possibly now that I see it. And that someone said, I'm not accepting this cup anymore, what you have to offer me. And words were said. And it could have been when, you know, I'm trying to think, you felt betrayed or they felt betrayal. And they may even ask you to go and out with them. And you may say, no, I'm not accepting this because of an argument. But they want to have their truth. They want to have their say. I'm feeling this. Somebody wants to at least move forward with this situation. Now, the hopes and fears, you got the Two of Wands, is someone that needs to make a decision of what is better for them. Is someone maybe also fearing this decision that they need to make. So Two of Wands in the upright while you're there for Sagittarius as the hopes and fears. Something that has to do with the past and a past memory. Something that was kind of, you know, not something they wanted to remember, with the Six of Cups in reverse, like negative memories. It's a nostalgia, but they need to make a choice, but memories are getting in the way. So Two of Wands in the upright, Six of Cups in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius. There it is again. You're not making a decision. You need to make a decision. Your hopes and fears, you know you need to make a decision about the past situation, but at the same time, you don't know if you can with the Two of Wands coming back in reverse. You don't know if you can. Yeah, I see. Remember in the beginning, we had that Five of Cups in reverse. You are coming out of disappointment, but at the same time, what's crossing it is a final decision. So final decisions need to be made in whatever is going on in your life right now that you are like avoiding. You're avoiding this situation, or someone around you is. Someone is thinking towards you, though. They're thinking about the situation that happened. Now, in the end, we got the Devil in reverse. To me, it's becoming unchained. Some others say it's being stuck, even more stuck. It depends on what the next card is. So the Devil in reverse while you're there for Sagittarius in the very end. Queen of Cups. I'm thinking you're becoming unstuck, unchained, because the Queen of Cups is in the upright. For some of you, again, it could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio you're dealing with, or this could be you. Even though this is not considered a fire sign energy, it's still an energy of someone being able to keep their emotions in check, regaining their emotions and feeling better. So you're becoming unchained, and you're just going to start feeling better. But like I said, some of you, it may be that the person that is having trouble moving on is the person around you. Because I do see you not accepting situations, wanting to be happy. Even though you remember the past, I see the Five of Cups in reverse, someone coming out of disappointment and coming unchained. But someone that's on the outside is thinking intensely on you. So the Devil in reverse, Queen of Cups in the upright while you're there for Sagittarius. It's an interesting story. But it's like, that's the Ten of Cups in reverse. You're becoming unchained. You're regaining your balance and your emotions. But you feel like you didn't get your happily ever after with this person. You were wanting this. I think this story is going to continue. Because I see it as going on. It's not over yet. Whatever you're going through, it's not over yet. You're still going through the motions, and whoever you're dealing with is. Because a decision hasn't been made. You are feeling better, but you're still thinking about that person or people or situations that you wanted that happily ever after with. So it's like you're almost waiting, or someone else is waiting on you. In the very end, there's going to be an offer made of an emotional situation, whether love, friendship, gifts, just happiness. It is going to be made, but I'm not hearing the whole story yet, and neither are you, because I'm the one reading. It's still going. So there will be an emotional offer made, But like I said, you're not making a final decision or whatever on someone who is contemplating on with whatever happened between you, that the emotions went kind of amok. But they are trying to look at the situation with the Nine of Wands. How can I work on this? How can I fix this? So someone is thinking towards you, how can I fix this? Whatever intense energy you had with this person. So this is for Sagittarius that may have fallen out with somebody. They're recovering. They're regaining balance, but at the same time they're not working on the situation, but they haven't made a final decision either. It's kind of like, in a way, you're, like I said, you're stuck in that middle ground thing. And someone else is looking towards you, and in a way they are stuck too. And no final decision has been made on either side. Someone is breaking free of a negative situation, a changed situation, regaining their emotions. But at the same time, they don't feel like they're getting their happily ever after. But I do see the Ace of Cups, something offered your way later on. And someone opens up communications, and you do go out with each other. With the Three of Cups. I do at least 3 cards at the end at least. So don't be all discouraged. I just feel like a lot of blah is here on both sides of whatever is going on. But somebody, I feel, in a way, does want to patch things up in some way. But no one's moving first. So, but I do see, like I said, later on, someone does make an offer. An emotional offer, a loving offer. They're going to open up communications with the Eight of Wands and you possibly invite you out to dinner. But I don't see you doing it right away with the Three of Cups over here. It's later on. I'll give you another bonus reading later. I wish I got these all in there. Can you see them all? Can you see them all? So this is your reading. Bye.